Yo, good people, it's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Y'all know I gotta turn this volume down. Hold on, no, we gotta turn this volume down, dog. It's too loud for you, dog. Little too loud for your homie, man. But it's your homie HerbMan coming back at you with another hot banger boogie. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So let me spruce myself up real quick, you guys. I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I am your homie HerbMan. Please go tell somebody that your homie HerbMan is on. Look, all we do here on the HerbMan Show is teach people how to heal themselves, all right? But you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. So this is a free information station. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear today, but all you got to do is simply pay attention. And how you do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. And we'll start bringing people out of the audience and show you exactly what the owner's manual is all about. All right. And until we get there, you guys, once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. I've been literally walking you guys through a class, okay, a master class of how to understand how to get in tune with nature, okay? If you guys are missing anything, again, we're coming live from South Africa. We're live on TikTok and on YouTube. So if don't nobody mess with the videos, you guys, it'll be automatically uploaded to YouTube so that you guys can continue to learn these modules that we are teaching you. Now, today we're teaching you about your emotions and the importance of this side of the matter when it comes to your health. A lot of you guys don't really put emphasis, and people don't really understand the emphasis and the impact that emotions and that our thought life and our feelings have on our health. But today we're going to talk about it. All right. Today we're going to talk about what is the effects of how I think and feel on my health. Okay. On my health, it has to be an understanding. Now, this is the fundamental fallibility, the fundamental what I think that we can compete with the healthcare system, the modern healthcare system as it is today, in this area of being able to care for you more emotionally and more in your thoughts. More about your emotional health and your mental health needs to be taken care of when dealing with your physical health. Okay, more of your emotional and mental health needs to be taken care of when dealing with your physical health. And this is the area that I believe that traditional medicine, traditional health systems can rival the modern medical healthcare system of today and provide that care. This is where the care comes in at, is to get past what you see physiologically and get into the root causation of the hurt and the pain. Now, yes, you do have some acute things that happen. You do have some incidental and some accidental things that can happen. But for the most of us, we are really conjugating up these things. It's due to bioaccumulation of toxicity and stress and all these different things on the three systems that always going to come to your aid. I've been teaching you guys this from day one. 3 systems that are automatically, autonomously going to come to your aid involuntarily, whether you like it or not. These 3 systems are going to always come to your aid anytime that you are faced with any type of environmental stimuli. This environmental stimuli means molestation. It means rape. It means this. It means that. It means locked up. It means shot up. It means saw him die. It means mama them gone. It means mama them gave me up, abuse, neglect. It means all of the stuff that we've been through in our life, racism, all this stuff that you've ever experienced is environmental stimuli. And it's how you respond to these environmental stimuli that is going to benefit you in the long haul. Now, these are the actual tests and lessons of life, how you respond to environmental stimuli. There are predators and there are preys, and there are things that are going to always be after the small thing or the weak thing or the thing that can't defend itself. That's just how this everything is devised, but you must understand the patterns of nature, and pattern of nature is a complete cycle of ever-changing events. So things will change. A sun will shine on a dog ass every now and then, and that's what makes it so good, because that means that you can get your opportunity. That means that you can get your wealth. That means that you can live a long time. That means that you can have the relationship that you want. When you give me this, when you tell me that a sun can shine on every dog's ass every once in a while, that gives me an opportunity to know that I can be something and do something in this particular paradigm, just like the next person. And so therefore, the real big thing now is to just be prepared for when it's your time to come. And we hate change. We can't stand change. You can't stand when somebody changed at your job, your manager changed. You can't stand when the boss changed. You can't stand when your relationship changed. You can't stand when your finances change. See, you can't stand change. And so therefore, you're going to have a hard time in an ever-changing world. Okay. Now, what's happening is that these changes and these particular traumatic events that change your paradigm and your perspective and mold you and shape you, things that you like and don't like, things that you had control over, things that you didn't have control over, things that happened to you that was out of your recognition, and things that happened to you that there was nothing you could do about it. Now, these things are happening to you, and they are environmental stimuli. Like I said, every now and then there's going to be a lion that's just going to try to attack a little baby cub. Okay, and so there are going to be predators going after little prey. So you must understand that this is just a natural cyclical understanding of nature. It's how you respond, how you survive, how you come out of that. It's what your natural instincts, your survival instincts are going to be able to be at that appointed time for you to be able to navigate to these things and understand the ebbs and flows of life. Ain't nobody coming after you, ain't nobody doing nothing to you, but the bottom line is that there are always going to be predator and prey. There's always going to be a up and a down. There's always going to be a good and a bad. There's always going to be a life and a death. And so what you got to understand is, how do I balance all of this out in order to make it benefit me? And what I'm trying to get you to understand is that if you can embrace change in your life, where you don't be so attached to when you're high, and when you don't be so attached to when you're low, when you don't be so attached to when you're hurt, when you don't be so attached to when they're patting you on your back, and you start to maintain a neutrality, understanding that the next day something else can happen because of this pattern of change, then now I'm able to flow, and I'm able to float in the boat the way that I need to where now I'm so comfortable emotionally. I'm neutral emotionally. I'm neutral emotionally. So I understand relationships can change. I understand that a woman can leave. Relationships can change. I understand that my dreams may not necessarily come as the way I dreamed them, but it could be different players and different characters and different actors, and it could still come true. But the people may change. The place may change. The things in the dream may change, but I could still have the dream. And so you must understand that things can change. And I'm tell you that when you get this into your particular spirit, into your understanding and your feelings, then now you're not so emotionally extreme when it comes to good times in your life or bad. Okay? And what happens is that these particular emotions come and they start to affect the three defense systems that you have in your body. Now, we talked about this yesterday, and I guess throughout this lesson, we're going to continue to keep sharpening on these particular three. But I want you to understand these, because you got to understand how it is capable for you to live forever, everlasting life. Remember, we don't chase disease, we're chasing death. Death is the consciousness in which we're trying to relieve you of. So you're literally listening to people tell you about everlasting life and Superman, He-Man, Batman, and folks that don't die, and all your superheroes, but you don't know how you can do it. Keep tapping and I'll keep talking, all right? So what we understand is that the immune system, okay, the immune system, the endocrine system, and the nervous system are all going to respond to whatever environmental stimuli I come in contact with. whether if it's infecting me or affecting me. Somebody say infecting me or affecting me. Please put that in the chat, YouTube. Please put that in the chat, TikTok. Welcome, YouTube to the HerbMan Show. Welcome, TikTok, to the HerbMan Show. Please put into the chat that these three systems are going to come into play, whether something infects you or affects you. Okay, whether something infects you, whether you are infected or affected by a situation, the nervous system, the endocrine system, and the immune system is going to come into play. Okay? Now, the immune system represents your spirit. Okay? The endocrine system represents your feelings. And the nervous system represents your thoughts. Okay? The immune system represents your spirit, the endocrine system represents your feelings, and the nervous system represents your thoughts. These things must be quantified when trying to heal thyself, and this is the fallibility of modern healthcare system of today. The pharmaceutical companies just do not want to spend enough time here. Therefore, you'll always be overly medicated, underly educated on your biological healing processes. All right. But when you come to the HerbMan Show, that's what we do. And that's the importance of the owner's manual. If you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. Now let's keep going. The immune system is also 80% of it is going to be in your digestive system. Okay. So this is where the digestive system starts to come into play, because 80% of your gut microbiome helps with your immune system. So 80% of your immune system fortitude, the strength of it comes from the digestive fortitude, which is going to be your gut microbiome, your gut health. Okay. Now, if there is bad gut health here, which we know a lot of us got, okay, whether you're constipated or whether you're diarrhea, whether you're bloated, whether you got gas, whether you pooping, whether you farting, whether you burping, whether you got acid reflux, whether you got GERDs or whatever y'all want to call it that you got going on, indigestion, heartburn, all of this means that your gut microbiome, your gut flora is already at a compromise, okay? Bottom line, okay? So now 80% of your gut microbiome is your immune system fortitude, meaning that the strength of your immune system is coming from your gut. This is how the digestive system get involved, not directly, but indirectly via trying to make sure that this immunity is up to par. Now, secondly, you got the endocrine system, and the endocrine system is going to represent what? You know, the endocrine system is a messaging system that puts chemicals in the bloodstream. It secretes chemicals in the bloodstream from the glands to allow your body to do what thus said the body to do. Okay, so then that means that the endocrine system is going to be more of your water system, and then you have the nervous system being the electrical. So you got electrical, you got chemical. Well, electrical we already know is going to be the positive energy, and then we got chemical we already know is going to create the negative energy. Not good, not bad, not wrong, not right. Just two oppositions that's needed in order to create the conduency or the charge that's needed to create the change in your life, in your health, in your wealth, in your social life. Okay. That's what we're trying to get you to understand. So now we understand how emotions can affect health, because emotions is about the endocrine system. Now, let me teach you something about the endocrine system. What's going on? We got the first lady walking on in, so y'all excuse me. All right, so now understanding the endocrine system, now you must understand that this endocrine system is your feelings. So thoughts create feelings, feelings create actions. This is the cognitive behavior understanding. Okay, so when you're doing all of this behavior, this habits that you're doing, then you got to get back into the track of things to understand what is the root cause of the action. What's the root cause of the smoking? What's the root cause of the drinking? What's the root cause of the working? What's the root cause of the sex? What's the root cause of the this and of the that? Then you got to go on into the thought life of a person, not at the kneecap, not at the ankle of the elbow, not at the skin rash, not at the organ, but it's deeper rooted than what you think it is. And everybody's disease is connected to an emotional trauma somewhere along the line. And if you are a baby and you came in with something, then your mama and daddy then was going through something that gave it to you in the gestation process. But you must understand that all these things are synergy. They are created through a synergy. Now, my point to you is that it has the power to create life and the power to create disease. So what we got to do is just use it in your disease time to create power. What we got to do is use it in your poor time to create rich. What we got to do is use it in your lonely to create the relationships that you're looking for. And so what I'm trying to get you to understand is that this very essence, this very power must be understood. And so today's lesson is probably one of the most important lessons out of all the modules. Yes, you know your cells know how to regenerate. Yes, you know how to heal thyself. Yes, your body already come in with a functionality, but it is the mind and the tenderness of the mind and the tenderness of the spirit and the innocence and the ignorance of this particular essence of part of you that must be understood a little bit more delicately and a little bit more intricately in order for you to understand how to utilize it and go from infantry in the usage of its power to being a professional in the uses of its power. So therefore, we must spend a little bit more time on how this is really the butt and the blunt of the blow of life. And once you get this under control, you'll get yourself under control. There is a thing called self-regulation, right? For you to be able to regulate yourself. All right, now let's see what kind of receipts we got today. Please keep tapping, you guys, and I'll keep talking. You keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Let's see if they'll let me show my receipts today. Let me see if they'll let me show my receipts today. All right, so we've been teaching you guys over and over again about these three components. Now, they ain't going to let me show them. About these little three components here, y'all. They almost tried to right then, y'all. Let me try that one more time. So we've been teaching you guys about these little three components, right? The immune system, the endocrine system, and the nervous system, right? The connection between these things. We've been teaching you guys about the bidirectional flow in which these things communicate amongst each other. We've been showing you that these are autonomously going to be the things that come to your first aid in any kind of environmental stimuli, in which what we like to call it. So now that we understand that these are the three things that help you repair from the damage of life, whether it be psychologically or whether it be physiologically, these are the three things that repair you from the damage of life, whether it be psychologically or whether it be physiologically. These are the three things that autonomously, involuntarily come to your aid to try to get you to respond to the environmental stimuli in the way that's necessary. All right. So that means that all your life, you got three angels coming to your aid. Now, it all is going to be about when you get sick, is that means that these things are not working properly, not nothing else. When you get sick, when you get infected or affected by life, it is not that these things are more powerful. It is that something is lacking in your response mechanism, in your defense mechanism toward the environmental stimuli. You have a defense toward pain. You got a defense toward hurt. You got a defense toward damage. You got a defense toward trauma. And sometimes that thing continues to get beat down. And what does it get beat down by? You being off the clock too long, being off the charge too long. What happens is that now you're off and your biological clock get the ticking. You ever heard of an alarm clock? The alarm clock gets the ticking as long as you off the charger. And so what's happening is all y'all are waiting on the last minute to try to get back on the charger, and it ain't going to be good for you at that particular moment. So you must understand how to develop a consciousness of resting and be under the understand the consciousness of being back on the charger. Every now and then you got to get back on the charger. Every moment that you're off the charger, you are producing things called cortisol and catecholamines. Now, if you know anything about cortisol and catecholamines, they are the things that we're going to do what? They're going to raise your heart rate. Adrenaline is going to raise your heart rate. Cortisol is going to raise your blood sugar. But the biggest thing is that cortisol and catecholamines are immunosuppressive. That means they ain't even worried about you being sick at the point in time you need to run, the point in time you need to argue, the point in time you need to fight. Your immune system is at its lowest, the point in time where you feel anger, you feel fear, living with your husband, living with your wife, living with the situation that you're dealing with, and you got all this fear and worry and anxiety and depression going on, then guess what? That's when your immune system is at its lowest. And so now when you ask the question of how do my emotions affect my health, I'm telling you, when you're living in the paradigm scared, when you're living frustrated, when you're living angry, when you're living hateful, when you're living disappointed, when you're living fearful, when you're living all of these types of ways and things, and these emotions keep dragging you and draining you down, and you're flooded with all of these negative emotions coming into your paradigm, then that is going to leave you at your most lowest when it comes to your immune system. It's going to leave you at your lowest when it comes to your immune system. So your emotions play an important role. And let me tell you what the name of that is. Y'all keep tapping. I'll keep talking. You guys, let's go ahead and get on some. We should have been already up. So let's go ahead and get us up to 50K. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K. All right. I am one of the best students when it comes to this shit that you ever want to see. So don't waste my time, please. All right. And I won't waste y'all. If y'all don't like it, we'll move on to something else. All right. The biggest word for this. Right, the biggest word for what we're talking about, and they don't put a word on it, it's called psycho neuro. Okay, psycho neuro immunology. Okay, psycho neuro immunology is what I've been trying to show y'all that they won't let me show y'all on this live right there, okay? So what you're seeing right there, that's psychoneuroimmunology, okay? Right? You see that? What you guys are seeing, exposure to the trauma, exposure to the life, allowing life to bust your bubble, thinking that people tell you can do whatever you want to do in life, and then when you come out, you realize that that may not be the necessarily thing, and so therefore your bubble get bust, okay? Your innocence get taken, okay? Your ignorance get taken away, okay? Your childlike understanding of life, okay? Your childlike dependency on life got taken away, and what we need to do is restore that. Okay, now let me repeat this because this is going to be live on TikTok and live on YouTube. You guys are going to be able to be downloaded as soon as I get finished with this. And I want to look you in the face when I tell you this again. Okay, I want to look you in your face and when I tell you this again, because this is what's happening. So all of us are being molested and raped. All of us are our innocence and our childlike a dependency on nature, on God, is being taken away. And then therefore you're now being left with being dependent on people who look like you and act like you. And therefore that ain't going to be sufficient enough for nobody. And so there's always going to be a fallibility, and there's always going to be a conditional thing when it comes to man-like and human-like relation. But when you understand the paradigm, you must understand that there is an ability to be able to get to the actual design that was designed for you and I. And as if you look past people and look into the natural existence of life, you'll realize that you are still being loved unconditional, but just in another way that not maybe come naturally through human exposure or human touch. But if you look at how nature is loving on you, how nature is choreographing you, how nature don't judge you, how nature sees the background and the things you're doing in the dark and still loving and giving you out, how nature saw what you did today behind your wife's back and what you did yesterday behind your husband's back and what you did the other day behind your friend's back, but nature still ain't judging you. So you start getting these examples of how nature do you. That's a little different than how people do. Okay, and then now it's about going back to nature, going back to that childlike dependency on something that is far beyond trying to depend on man. Some of us done had these children and can't depend on them even in our elder state. Why? Because they got families, they got situations, they doing things, their life still ain't right. They even take care of 70, 80, 90-year-old mom and daddy them. So you'll see that it ain't gonna be good to try to trust in one another, because until one another get the real example and design on life, then everybody can't be trusted and depended on, and everybody's gonna be by condition. So how do you get the example? Through nature. Nature-based interventions will show you clearly the love that you should be receiving and the way that you should be receiving. And it will allow us to be able to correct our emotions, correct our hormones, correct our mental by being more exposed to nature-based interventions. And that's what we expose to you and teach you with your owner's manual. Okay? So now that you understand that this psychoneuroimmunology is nothing more than the immune system, nervous system, and endocrine system connection. So therefore, every time you think a thing, you go through a thing. Every time that you drink, you smoke, or do any of those things, it is biologically connected to you in some form or fashion. All right. So YouTube, I'm showing them a little a receipt here of a clip of psychoneuroimmunology. You guys can go Google that and look that up, right? But physical injury and infection, right? Acute psychological stress, right? So you're seeing how stress, all of obesity and substance abuse and poor sleep and all of these things can cause your mechanisms, can cause gut dysbiosis. Well, what we just talked about, if you got gut dysbiosis, then you got the very opposite of the gut that you need to create a healthy immune system. So gut dysbiosis ain't about your boo-boo more than it is about your ability to repair and to be able to defend oneself against infection. Everybody been looking at the digestive system as just for you to be able to eat something and poop. But the reality of it is that your digestive system is a little bit far more important to your immune system than you ever thought it was. Your digestive system is a major part of your immune system. So when you got gut dysbiosis and when you got GERDs and acid reflux and bloating and pooting and farting and stinking breath and you can't even stain yourself in the bathroom and constipation and diarrhea, when you're going through all of that stuff, guess what? Your immune system ain't hitting on shit. Literally. No pun intended. Okay? So gotta understand that this gut dysbiosis and all this gut stuff you're going through, acid reflux and all this stomach acid up and down that I've been telling y'all about, is connected to your immune system more than you know. Okay? Psychoneuroimmunology is what we're trying to teach you if you are a person who is trying to heal themselves, or if you're a person who is trying to heal the public and the community around you. I'm the person you need to learn from. And when you're trying to be a healer of something, then you must understand a body that can heal itself. All you got to do is work on the repair systems that repair the person. So you don't need to be trying to chase arthritis at the knee. You don't need to be trying to chase a headache at the head. You don't need to be trying to chase blood pressure at the heart. You don't need to be trying to chase blood sugar at the pancreas. You don't need to be trying to... Y'all keep tapping. I'll keep talking, y'all. I'm going to let y'all rest for a little bit. Get us up to 50K. I ain't going to say nothing else to you till you get to 50K. Y'all know I ain't going to play with you, man. I ain't come on here to play with you. If you're interested in your owner's manual, please tap the screen. And please let us know, and we will deal. All right. This information is, you ain't never heard nobody using these words. Y'all ain't never heard nobody using these words and teaching this information in this way. Okay. But psychoneuroimmunology. All right. Your immune system, endocrine system, and your nervous system are the three systems that's going to come to your aid in any environmental stimuli, no matter what age you at, what stage you at, whatever. These are the three things that are actually healing you over the process of time. These are the three things that are actually coming to your aid These are your first responders to environmental stimuli, whether it's through your thought life or through your actual physical body. So whatever infects you or affects you, these three things are coming to your aid: your nervous system, your endocrine system, and your immune system. In essence, what I'm saying is your spirit, which is represented by your nervous system, your feelings, which is represented by your endocrine system, and your thoughts, which is represented by your nervous system, are all a part of how you respond to the environment. Okay. And when you get into a sickness that you cannot repair, then you must not chase diseases. You go to these repair systems. If anything has infected you, then it's the immune system. If something has affected you, then look at the spiritual implications, or look at the emotional. How that made you feel? How did that make you think? Right? Then you understand that infected this way or affected this way. So now words, foods, all can be viruses. Words, foods, all can be viruses. Words and foods can all be parasites. Words and foods could all be bacteria. Words and foods could all be funguses. Words and foods could all be these things. So you must understand that it is the environment that is susceptible to germs. Germs ain't just little things that are going on inside of you internally, but somebody can be a germ in your life. Somebody can be a parasite in your life. Somebody can be a bacteria in your life. Something can be a fungus in your life. Something can be a cancer in your life. And so therefore you must get the macro and the micro, and then be able to counterbalance both. Okay. Some of y'all are dealing with parasitic people and wondering why you got parasites. Some of y'all are dealing with people who are acting like bacteria, just growing on you and just keep on gnawing on you and living off of you. And these things become funguses. They become cancers. They become tumor-like people to your life. That job can become a pain. It can become inflammation. Your job is inflammatory to your energy. So no wonder your back hurting while you're at work. No wonder your stomach hurting while you're at work. The job is inflammatory. Some of you guys are living with somebody right now. Y'all know I ain't even gonna say it, but you know what I'm about to say, right? Some of you guys are living with somebody right now, living with children right now that are just getting on your you already know, nerve. And so now you got nervous system problem. Well, how you gonna fix it? You got to fix your life. Medication ain't gonna be able to do nothing to the children. You know, went down into the hospital with high blood pressure, but it ain't gonna do nothing. The job ain't gonna take the high blood pressure medication. So you're trying to learn how to cope with environmental stimuli by you taking in inorganic substances that's not going to really be at the rudimentary cause of how you respond to what you're dealing with. Blood pressure medication is not going to get you to respond to what's causing you high blood pressure the right way. Blood sugar medication won't get you to respond the right way that you need to respond to the stimuli that's causing you the blood sugar. It ain't blood sugar medication ain't gonna get you not to eat sweets. Blood pressure medication ain't gonna get you not to get angry when not to get angry when the boss and all these folks talking shit. It ain't gonna do that. But that's what you need. You need something to help you with the anger, not the blood pressure. You get it? You need something to help you with the cravings, not the pancreas. So you're getting the wrong stuff shopping online and social media when folks claiming to be able to heal you and to give you these herbs and this and the third, and they ain't dealing with your root cause. Stop buying that shit. Invest in something that you can invest in, that you don't have to do nothing else after you do that. And that's an owner's manual. For a measly funky $50, you get your own owner's manual, and you get your health into your own hands. That way you ain't got to keep standing in line for a 2-piece fish dinner. Now you learn how to fish yourself. You've learned how to be an advocate for your own health. You can take this information to your own therapist, your own pastor, your own doctor, whoever else, and you tell them what you need instead of them trying to tell you what you need. Know thyself. Okay? I really need a way to let go of the anger. Exactly. That's why I got my owner's manual. The best way that you're going to be able to let go of the anger is you got to let go of what angers you. You can't let go of anger. Anger is built in complex in all of us. The only way you're going to be able to not get angry is you got to be able to get off and around what makes you angry. You see what I'm saying? But you don't have the balls or the kahunas to walk away from what makes you angry. So therefore, now you got to try to fix your anger. But instead of trying to fix your anger, fix your environment that's creating the anger. Okay? You know we out here in Africa now. It's starting to get hot out here now. It's the most difficult thing I've ever dealt with. Yeah, because it's grown-up decisions. It's grown-up decisions. Being healthy is a grown-up decision. Let me say this to all of you guys there, and I appreciate all of the love. You guys keep tapping, and I'll keep talking. Let me say this to all 100 or so of you guys. Look, being sick is going to interfere with your life. If you ever get sick, it's going to interfere with your daily routine. Okay? It's going to interrupt things that you like to do. That is a true statement. But I also want you to understand is being healthy will also interfere with what you like to do because you ain't never really wanted to be healthy. You never really needed to be healthy, needed the consciousness to focus on health as a priority. So now when you have to because you're sick, yes, it's going to interrupt. You ain't going to be able to do some of the shit you used to do because you're trying to be healthy. You ain't going to be able to do some of the stuff you used to do because you're trying to be healthy. So again, sickness will interrupt your life. And you must understand that healthiness will interrupt it as well. So be open to both. If you're open to sickness fucking your life up, be open to healthiness causing some kind of inconvenience as well. Life isn't going to be perfect. Emotional intelligence is what I want so bad. Well, I mean, you'll get it. You'll get it. If that's what you seek, you'll get it. If that's what you're seeking, you'll get it. Okay? If that's what you're seeking, you'll get it. Emotional intelligence is going to come with spiritual intelligence, right? So the more you're spiritually heightened, I believe that that's to do some of the things that you need to do, right? Spiritual heightenedness is fundamentally at the core of being able to be emotionally heightened. And what we're saying is being sensitive to feelings, people's feelings, being sensitive to people's feelings. Everybody can't be like that. Everybody shouldn't be like that. But the ones that can, the ones that are the best at it, we appreciate you for what you offer because it's needed. But being emotionally sensitive is being emotionally intelligent. And all that means is that you must understand how people feel, right? And it's okay to feel some kind of way. You don't like me today, that's cool. Because shit, I might not like you the next 5 minutes. And if you're okay with me not liking you, and I'm okay with you not liking me, we can get past this stage and get back to liking each other. But when you can't understand why, I don't understand why you got now not like me. What the fuck the problem? Hey, look, man, it is what it is. Value all of those things. You value all those things, and you'll be able to, be in a good position. Hold on, you guys. Value those things, and you'll be able to get in a good position. All right. And if you value those things, you'll be good to go. Okay. So that's what you want to understand when you're looking at this emotional thing. So the owner's manual is teaching you about these emotional states because it's important. And it's a program that we have to touch on. And that's what you should be happy about. You should clap about, okay, this man is going to really get deep down into the root cause of my problems. That's what we're going to do. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Get down to the root cause of your problems, bar none. Okay. That's what we got to do. Right. We got to be able to do that. And so I know that there's a lot of psychological anguish going on, a lot of things that people need counseling on. If you guys are getting my email, you guys get my contact information. I am in South Africa right now, you guys. So please save the contact and then download WhatsApp and call me between the times of 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can call me on WhatsApp, and we'll be able to walk you through your owner's manual. We have herbal blends going out based on these these owners manuals as well. So we're able to ship to you in the United States, so you'll be able to get your herbs and all that type of stuff. You can get the consultations no matter where you are in the world. We don't require any blood type, any blood sample, any stool sample, urine sample, any hair sample, anything like that. Non-invasive, non-intrusive. We ain't gonna poke you, prod you, or prick you. All we need is a birth date, and we'll walk you through how to get back into balance with nature. Okay, where can we reach your contacts? Again, you can DM me, or you can go to the website. You can go to the link in the bio. All that stuff will get you to the contacts that you need from me. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? I know we got people dealing with a whole lot of different things. We do provide other herbs, but you will have to get some kind of consult for me to understand exactly what you need to do. Have you dealt with anger before? What was your breakthrough to let it go? Just deal with it, man. That's all. That's all. What you mean? Have you dealt with anger before? Everybody done dealt with some fucking anger, man. Shit, you done made me angry right there, Stitching. When you had me that shit, you know what I'm talking about? You just got them triggered me then. You feel me? So it's always there. It ain't gonna never go nowhere. Yeah, you face it. That's the point of being back into balance. See, the point is that you don't want to face cancer. You don't want to face AIDS. You don't want to face herpes. That's why the only reason why AIDS could spread is because the person that got it didn't want to face it. The only reason why herpes is spreading is because the person that got it don't want to face it. The only reason why cancer is spreading you because when you were first diagnosed with it, you didn't want to fucking face it, and so you let it spread. So you're not facing your situation. The only reason why you stay broke more than one day is because you're not facing your poverty. The only reason why you stay single more than 1 minute is because you're not facing this particular point in your life. Y'all keep talking about it's all right, I don't need this, and I don't need a man, and I don't need it. Then fuck it, then be single. And just don't even worry about even talking about being somewhere else, right? So my point to you is that y'all are not facing the situation. So you got molested, but you didn't face it. You got raped, but you didn't face it. You got jailed, but you didn't face it. You got abused, but you didn't face it. You got neglected, but you didn't face it. You got shot, but you didn't face it. You got robbed, but you didn't face it. You came up poor, but you ain't faced it. And therefore, that's the problem. Suppression of these emotions. Look, it's okay to have an emotion. It's wrong to suppress it. Now look at what we're seeing here. These are all the suppressed emotions. Stress and anxiety works at the core of who you are. This is the core of who you are. This is the root cause, but it's at the center of who you. It's the core of who you are. Everybody keeps looking at it like it's at the bottom of your booty, and that's it down here in your reproductive system. But I like to draw it this way so you'll understand that the root cause is at the core of you, my people. The root cause of your problem is at the core, is at the center of our being. And so you got stress and anxiety eating away at the core of all of us. Well, here's the thing. Stress and anxiety is only to a people who don't know God. Yeah, I said that loud and clear. And that's for the folks that's going to the imam. That's for the folks that's going to the rabbi. That's for the folks that's going to the pastor and the bishop. That's for the folks that are going to anybody that claim to have any kind of higher consciousness. I'm finna tell you what the problem is. The problem is, how can you believe in God when you're in a world inundated with stress and anxiety? But if you believed in God and you thought that this, if you really understood that this was heaven, you would be in the direct opposite of stress and anxiety, and you would be in contentment and peace. And what I'm trying to do is get you to get this information. I know y'all don't believe this, but this is what I'm really trying to do. Get you to see the real justice why you here. Y'all say y'all believe in God, but I can't tell. How the fuck can you die from high blood pressure, diabetes, and cancer if you believed in the almighty power? What power do you possess that is in the same image of that power in which you believe? What power do you possess that is in that same image as in the power in which you believe? There's no way you don't want to be broke and still broke. and believe in God. There's no way that you could want to be healed but still be sick and believe in God. There's no way that I can believe that that's possible, because you're living in a life of stress and anxiety, but in God is contentment and peace. You're living in a life of stress and anxiety based on your will, but in God, the contentment and peace comes in the will. This is the will. I'm showing you the will for your life, and then yes, of course, you can live your will. But your will, the end of it is death. The will, the end of it is everlasting life. It's infinity. How do you live the will of God? You must know the will of God. 12 lessons. You learn how to pass each one of them. You body preserve, which means that you strengthen your intuition, your discernment, which is why I like for people to knock on my door and say, some say. When some said, tell you to come to me, that's how you open the door to me. And so when you come to me with something said, it automatically let me know that you have some intuitive ability. I don't want you to try to see me intellectually. I'm not going to educate your motherfucking ass to death. That's what a lot of you son bitches keep watching me for. I'm not finna sit here and keep coming on here every day to educate you to death. I cannot intellectualize an intuitive thing that I'm trying to teach you about. I can't intellectualize a spirit. I can't keep trying to teach you about something spiritually that's trying to happen inside of you. So you might well stop looking at me every fucking day. Go get somebody else. If you're looking for healing and you can censor that intuitively, I'm your man. Something say is how you open up the door to my services. We're trying to teach you about this other side of you that can get you through the long haul. You got to share this dynamic with this intuitive ability. You got to share this dynamic with this spirit side of you. You got to share this dynamic with this higher consciousness side of you. You got to share this dynamic with this feminine energy side of you. That's the way you're going to make it to everlasting life. The body won't make it alone. And anybody who tries to do that is the direct understanding of where you are in your knowledge. So I believe your higher self knows how to articulate itself through different means of language. Your higher self will do some body language without saying a word. Your higher self will do some goddamn other kind of stuff without saying a word. So my thing is, what are you saying? You know, when you're talking to me and I'm in the spirit, make sure that your stuff is in the spirit so I can meet you in the air. Okay? I love your teachings, man. Thank you. Tap y'all so he can cook. Alejandro, see that what I'm saying? Y'all just want to be stuck in here. Look, ain't nobody trying to keep teaching your ass, Alejandro. You know what to do now. Alejandro, you already doing what you need to do, though. So that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys are already taking this stuff into consideration and taking it into practicality, and you're starting to see some of the residual that comes from it. Is it an easy thing? No, because it's you. Remember that I told you the person that's standing at the gate between you and what you want to do is you. Okay? It ain't the government that's beating you. It ain't your mom and dad them that's beating you. It ain't nobody them that's beating you. It ain't the white man that's holding you down. It's you. You are standing at the gate of the things that you want to do. And the only person that can stop you from doing what you want to do is you. And the only person that can do what you want to do is you. And so what we try to do is get you to understand that. You is what you're seeking. You is the person standing at the gate between you and the things that you want to do. And you have to defeat you. And the thing about it is that it's going to be the hardest fucking fight because you know you better than anybody. You know your weaknesses. You know your strength. So you is going to play toward your weaknesses and your strength. So you just imagine yourself swinging at yourself in the mirror. Right? It's very difficult to throw a punch and make it miss at the same time when you know when the mind is telling you to throw and the mind is telling you to move out the way at the same. Y'all see how I did that? You know, it's very difficult to hit that face if you know when I'm on swing. It's very difficult to hit me dead in the face if I know I'm going to swing. So you become your hardest opponent. If you know you're finna stop, then some gonna tell you, bitch, I don't want you to stop the fuck I want you to do. If some want you to quit, then nigga, I don't want you to fuck wrong with you. If some tell you to not do you, nigga, I tell you, ain't nobody watching, I tell you go get it. She ain't here, he ain't here, they ain't there. They're not watching, ain't nobody looking. You is what you gotta fight. I tap to see you run us on that wheel. Oh yeah, I feel you. That's like trying to run in a dream, but you feel slow. Yeah, man. So that's what I'm trying to say. You your hardest enemy. Okay. But we got to be able to divulge this information to you for you to understand that your emotions really does move the waters in your body. Okay. Your emotions really do move the waters inside of your body. They can start turbulence as well. And you have to be more cognizant of the way you feel about life. Okay? Endocrine system diseases are the number one causes for cancer. Okay? I told you guys that they are affecting the man's mind, creating a lot of nervous system conditions in the man. They're creating a lot of emotional diseases in the woman, playing with her feelings. So they play with your feelings as a woman, and they play with my mind as a man. So when you play with a man's mind, the nervous system starts to deplete, which is the cause of most of the men's diseases. If you really start doing your research, they play with the woman's feelings, and then the endocrine system becomes a catapult, and now you got a influx in these diseases like cancer and all these rapid growing diseases because you're playing with the messaging system. So if you infiltrate the nervous system, you infiltrate the messaging system. If you infiltrate the endocrine system, you infiltrate the messaging system. So now, if I want to ever attack you, I'm going to attack your communication ship first. Because if I can get communications to go down, if I can get the communications to be interfered with, then now if I can get communications to be firmware or wormware or spermware or whatever you want to call it with these doggone computer things, if I want to infiltrate your communications, I will invade them. And I'll send out false signals and false messengers and false messages. If y'all caught that, put some ones in the chat. Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. If y'all caught that, put some ones in the chat. Okay? Yes, an invasion on your messaging systems. Okay? Your communication system. That's the first thing I'm going to go after in war. In war, I'm not going to go after this and that and this, that, and the third. I'm going to go after the way you communicate. I'm going to interfere. I'm going to spam well. I'm going to AI. I'm going to send all kind of crazy shit through your messaging systems, through your media programs, through your mediation programs, through your messaging programs, which is your religions, through... if I really want to get into the communication, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be a firmware, a wormware. I'm trying to be a Trojan. I'm trying to take over your computer chip. Well, what is your computer chip? Your mind. Don't nobody want your kneecaps. Don't nobody want your arthritic ass knees. Don't nobody want your congestive heart. Don't nobody want your debilitated dysbiosis gut. They want your mind. Nobody's trying to infiltrate nothing down here. Everything has got to be here first. In the engagement of rules in war, me being an ex-military man, we're going to come after your communications. We're going to interfere, and we're going to invade, and we're going to Trojan. We're going to do whatever we got to do to interfere in how you communicate with each other and with your community. So yes, watch your social media. Yes, watch your internet. Watch your news programs. Yes, watch what you're reading. Yes, watch your education programs. Yes, watch your healthcare systems. Watch anything that you got to go and be codependent on, especially if you don't know how to do it yourself, because they're trying to get here first, right? The rules engagement of war is to get into the communication system. They want your mind. They can get inside here. You don't know what's right or wrong. That's why we're trying to teach you intuition. So that once you get intuition, you'll realize that the religions may not be right for you. Once you get intuition, you'll realize that the medications may not be the route for you. Once you get intuition, you'll realize that Rico ain't the man for you. Once you get intuition, you'll realize that that job ain't the one for you. Once you get intuition, you'll realize that Georgia ain't the place for you. Once you get intuition, you'll realize, you see, that's what we're trying to do for you guys, okay? That's all I'm trying to do. For that little funky measly $50 is all we're trying to do, is the right thing by you, which is put your health back into your own hands. If you guys are interested, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. I love you guys, man. It's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. Yes, they tried to mess with my little YouTube video here, but we're going to keep on busting you guys upside the head and giving you this information because you need it, okay? This is, again, another part of the module. We'll come out with another one tomorrow, same back time, same back channel. Please go tell everybody when we come on so that you guys can really get this information on how to heal yourself. Until next time, you guys, I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peace. Yes, yes, sir. You said what?